All right, hello everybody, and welcome back to Film Nerds Hour.
Frick is up, everybody.
It's very hot. Where we're recording right now, the AC is out, so
if you hear a bit of a sound of blades moving in a circular motion, creating a current, no, it is not me farting. It is a fan. That is the kind of top-notch humor you can expect from us.
ass blades.
Yeah. Don't spoil our new movie.
What is it? Where
This summer.
What is it where they make a joke that Nicolas Cage does every single movie? Was that Family Guy?
SNL did that joke a lot.
But I thought it was Family Guy, and it was like ass integrity or something really weird.
It might have been. I know because Andy Samberg did a recurring bit on SNL where he would show up as Nicolas Cage doing a Nicolas Cage impression, and the time that they retired that bit was he came on as Nicolas Cage, and the celebrity guest was Nicolas Cage.
It was like, oh.
And he's like, well, as you can tell, I've only, up until recently, been into a measly 90% of all movies, which is shameful.
I can't imagine how awkward that must have been, though. If you didn't know.
Oh, yeah. Oh, of course. I couldn't imagine doing a Christopher Walken impression while he's staring at me. Like, please don't mind.
It's like everybody who does those Alan Rickman impressions, if you've seen those when he was alive.
Yeah.
And he's just sitting there like...
Yeah.
Huh. I don't know how to feel about it.
He's like, you and Benedict Cumberbatch did a Rickman off. And he goes, well, we did it because we like you. Ha!
Benedict Cumberbatch does an amazing Alan Rickman.
I can't remember the name of it, but there's a Twitter that is solely dedicated to putting up pictures of celebrities and then saying their name, but like it's not their name, but it sounds close enough. So like one of them for Benedict Cumberbatch, his name is Barnedict Cucumber Patch. Idris Elba is Eyeballs Elbows. Iggy Azalea is Zaggy as a xylophone.
Have you seen a lot of those like Instagram stuff where they change their genders too?
Yeah, I just saw one for Harry Potter, and they changed the name as like Harriet Potter, Ronna Weasley, like
Ronna Weasley, look kind of cute.
Rhonda Weasley. I need to confirm. So what movie are we talking about?
So, Battle Beyond the Stars.
Yes, a seminal 1980s cult classic film. Would you say?
I'd say so. It's one of those because I believe it's by Roger Corman too. And for those of you who don't know who Roger Corman is, he did a lot. He was pretty much the face of the indie community for a long time.
Did a lot of good stuff.
And a lot of his movies were very very out there. I mean, he did the original Death Race 2000 is what it's called, which I still have yet to see, but I know it has Sylvester Stallone in it.
Very young Sylvester Stallone.
And then 2017 he did the Death Race 2050, and then they also made that remake that really just had him as the producer with Jason Statham, which is still interesting. Good watch popcorn movie.
Nice fun action movie if you like gore too. Check her out.
And then if you're like me and you went through a phase, if you guys like Sharknado or that kind of stuff, if you went through a phase like me after I saw Jaws when I was 8 and started craving those killer animal movies and didn't realize how bad they were until I was about 17, 18 and was like, God, what am I doing with my life? He did Sharktopus, the 3 Sharktopus movies, which was like Sharktopus versus Terracuda, which was a barracuda and a pterodactyl mixed together, and then
it was like orca
whale.
Wolf?
It was a
wolf mixed with an orca.
Whale wolf.
There it is.
Yep, and it was a
orca wolf sounds better.
It does. It just sounds very far out there. And then he also did the Dino Shark movie, and he also did Carnosaur, which is part of the Primeval series. No.
Did he do
Carnosaur series? He did the movie Carnosaur, and then there was Raptor with a couple of B-rated actors.
Yeah. Did he do? He didn't do Ghost Shark, did he? Is that the one shark
No.
movie he didn't do?
No. And then Frank Oz did direct little Shop of Horrors, but that's actually cool. But I know that I think Roger Corman did his own interpretation too. Mm-hmm. It's been a while since I've seen that. We got to cover that sometime too, because I do love that movie. It's been a long time.
We got to do a lot. Like, this is why I love doing the show with you, because like our experiences with discovering these movies are so different. You watched Jaws when you were 8?
I saw Jaws when I was 8, and funny enough, the only thing that ever scared me about that movie was not the blood or the kid being mauled or anything like that. No. It wasn't Quint's death scene either. It was Ben Gardner's head falling out of the boat.
Yeah. I don't think I watched Goosebumps until I was 15. Okay?
Yeah, Jaws, the rest of it, I was just sitting there. And I wasn't a morbid kid.
No.
But I used to be able to fall asleep to Jaws. Like, that was the thing that I could fall asleep to.
The one, there's a wrestler, can't remember her name, but she was talking with this guy. She apparently would fall asleep to The Ring. That movie?
I still couldn't do that.
No. It's...
See, everybody loves how cheesy those movies are, and they're like, oh yeah, they're so dumb. Like, I have my friends like that. And I'm like, but you wouldn't be saying that. You'd be sitting there pissing yourself if you saw us tomorrow.
If she came out of your TV right now, you're telling me you would not die.
The thing about Rings, that's what scared me the most. Because my theory is, why don't you just smash the TV? No. What if you just smashed the TV?
And then she did, and it didn't do anything.
And she came out of the flat screen TV and was just like, this is a minor inconvenience because now I just have to push it off. And I'd be like, what? No, you broke all the rules. What? No.
There ain't no rules.
But, it's movies like that. A lot of the horror films, too, there was a lot that Roger Corman did. To name some of the other cool ones, he did, like, Attack of the Crab Monsters. Another good gem that he did was Piranha. The original 1978 with Bradford Dillman and Heather Menzies.
Okay.
And then if you've seen... the second one was actually directed by James Cameron.
Which Cameron did the visual effects on Battle Beyond the Stars. I did not know that.
That's right.
He was in the credits, and I was like, what is he doing here?
Yeah, because he does a lot for those lower independent stuff, too. He had a lot of sci-fi involvement. But yeah, he did the second Piranha, which is called Piranha 2: The Spawning in 1980.
Okay.
And it wasn't popular acclaim, but the Piranha actually spawned wings this time. And it really... And they fly. And it's very cheesy, but the special effects are just kind of like... It disturbs you in a way.
Yeah. Well, and like I understand, like there's a logic behind that of like, oh, it's a piranha. How can it stay out of water? And also, if I saw a flying piranha, I might just die.
Yeah. Well, that was the other part that they were trying to incorporate into the Piranha Double D, their modern day remake.
Oh God.
Which, yes, that's the name, Piranha Double D, and it's literally just a water park full of giant boobs.
Let us know if you want us to review that, because
I'll have a lot of fun.
I'd be delighted in trashing a movie.
Well, what part?
Yes, and?
But no, the ending for that, spoiler alert, is that the piranhas start to walk on land.
No.
So they evolve, and they're prehistoric piranhas. So they really try to take those elements. I personally, as bad as it was, would have liked to see one more film to see them actually evolve.
Yeah.
Just because I don't like letting series go unfinished.
Yeah.
Like The Amazing Spider-Man, I really wanted to see something from it, even if it was direct to DVD or like a lower budget. I just wanted to see something be finished,
or at least wanted to know what they were gonna do.
I mean, I know that they were amping up for a Sinister Six movie and whatnot, but it would have still been nice to see it.
Yeah.
I mean, you're introducing the multiverse and whatnot. But going back to it, just one quick note, too. They also made the 1995 TV remake, with William Katt as Paul Grogan for Piranha in that one. And I forget who... but they also had Mila Kunis as his daughter playing Susie Grogan in that one.
Be a very young Mila Kunis.
Yeah. And... I'm trying to think of who played What's-Her-Face.
Oh, What's-Her-Face? Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I'm sorry.
The character that Heather Menzies played. Maggie McNown.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe Bradford Dillman is still alive. No, he died! Wait, what?
Aww.
He died January 16th, 2018.
Oh, man.
But he was also in the movie Bug, which is another good killer animal movie.
What? I just remembered it. What movie is it where mosquitoes...
Mosquito.
Is it actually Mosquito?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I haven't seen that yet either,
right.
and I need to see it.
I was going to ask where mosquitoes, and this is literally the plot of the movie, people, suck up alien blood.
Heather Menzies is dead, too.
What?
She died December 24th, 2017. All these good actors that I never...
Cult film actors are dying. We're losing people.
I'm sad. Like, she was in The Sound of Music. She was in Logan's Run as well.
Oh, Logan's Run. Yes.
I have not seen that, unfortunately.
It's a trip.
I didn't know they made a series besides the movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't think I ever checked out the series, but I knew of it. For sure. How old would James Cameron have been in 1980? Because that's when Battle Beyond the Stars came out.
How old was he now? He's 65. He's only 65.
Really?
I never would have thought. So, hang on.
1980. We're in 2020. That makes it easier.
I was just gonna do it through a calculator because when did it come out again?
40. So how old did you say he is? 65.
Yeah.
He would have been 25.
Yeah, so he was still fairly young. You know, he married Linda Hamilton, right?
Yeah, you were telling me about that. Yeah.
At one point, and then their marriage only lasted like 3 years, not even 2.
It happens in Hollywood. It happens.
Yeah, but he's been married 7 times.
Oh wow. Huh.
Yeah, because who did he marry? Sharon Williams, Gail Ann Hurd, Caitlin Bigelow, Linda Hamilton.
Caitlin Bigelow.
I think that's how you say her name, right?
Well, I don't know. I didn't know a person with that name existed until now.
Bigelow. That's what it looks like.
Let me see it. Bigelow, yeah. Huh. Would you guys look at that? Shush.
So he's been married, what? Well...
Deuce Bigelow, American Gigolo.
Okay, 5 times, but still, it's still a lot.
Yeah.
And he did marry somebody younger than him this time that was like that far. She's only 58. Susie Amos right now.
That's 7 years younger. At 58 and 65, it really, age gap doesn't really matter at that point.
I think it just like, you know, like, I believe like if you're in love with somebody, you're in love with somebody. But then you got like Patrick Stewart who's like married to somebody who's like 42. It's like half his age. Yeah. I don't have a problem with that though. I mean, I could see it. Patrick Stewart's a very respectable dude.
He's a very suave dude. Are you kidding me?
He's a very sweet, like, very awesome dude to be around.
Very commanding boy. I don't swing that way, but if he hit on me, I'd like think about it for like a minute. Like,
I mean, like even him as Picard. Him as Picard is scary though.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
like a young Picard. Like you see him now as a sentimental old man, and you still get that vibe like in the series Picard.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so good, so good.
But yeah, I'm still watching The Next Generation, even in the movies. I'm sitting there like, you know, Patrick, like even in First Contact, like Patrick Stewart with a gun.
Yeah.
That's badass. Like, it's scary. Like, I see him, like, and how much muscle he had, because you don't really see it.
No.
But you saw it, and I'm like...
His outfit is giant pants and long-sleeve sweaters.
Yeah,
like,
but when you...
know how buff he is.
When you see him with that gun, I was like... Huh.
Yeah.
I was like, that's actually kind of scary.
I was honestly surprised that Picard even became a thing, because I knew for
Kirk?
No, the show Picard.
Oh!
Because I knew for a long time he was like, he almost got annoyed with it, like when they would do junkets for like the X-Men movies or whatever, and people would ask him Star Trek questions, and he would be like, you know, I've done like theater, right? Like Shakespeare.
Well, I think he got used to it too, because it is a big pop culture. I mean, I know like that, like with Harrison Ford's thing, but that's why I like what Mark Hamill said. Would you rather be remembered for this? Because Alex Guinness suffered the same thing. Like like, you know, he was kind of a dick about it to one kid.
Yeah.
Because he told that one kid that I'll sign this for you, but you have to never watch Star Wars again. I made the kid cry.
Asshole.
Yeah.
Sorry for swearing, Mom, but
you know, I was like, who does that to a kid? Because his whole thing was, I've done other movies.
Yeah.
Harrison Ford, like, that's his thing. Indiana Jones and Han Solo. More so Han Solo than Indiana Jones.
Yeah, but Harrison Ford does a lot of good. Have you seen Fugitive yet?
I've seen parts and bits of it. I've seen parts and bits of his other movies. And he's a good actor. Yeah. It's one of those things, though, that I wouldn't complain. Because you know how many people would kill just to have that fame, as annoying as it be?
Exactly.
To have something so stable and something that's so much fun. Has so many fans. I mean, granted, when Disney took over, obviously we're not going to talk about politics. But the way that Disney's handled, and the way that, in my opinion, that Kathleen Kennedy and Disney has handled these characters and their lore has been in my opinion, as a fan, I think it's disrespectful. I don't think they justified the characters right.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I understand like Mark Hamill and them why they wouldn't want to come back. I know a lot of the main cast have said that they're like John Boyega. He was just kind of their token boy.
Yeah.
And he doesn't really want to come back because for Finn, just to say the least, for him it was kind of like, hey, look we got a diverse guy in here.
Yeah.
To say the least.
We've got our black guy. Yeah.
We've got our black guy here, which is like, well, why? Why not expand upon it? You gave him a very interesting arc.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I like, I felt like with Finn and stuff, when they first opened it up, like a lot of these, like, Battle Beyond the Stars, I like the idea that, like, a lot of these lower budget movies back then were so imaginative, and you saw, like, the criminal underside. It wasn't just about the main character. They really showed, like, the advancements of this character is a bad guy, and they showed the perspective of the bad guy and like their inner working. Kind of like with Black Hole, it was interesting to see, the ship, and to see like all these different robots and stuff. Which, to be honest, they have surprisingly good laser effects. You have to give it to them.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. You've only seen part of Black Hole.
I've only seen like
you haven't even gotten to the twist yet, sucker. Oh boy. We're gonna review that movie too at some point because holy crap.
Yeah, and but a lot of these lower stuff like Battle Beyond the Stars, they're good movies because of that reason, and that's like the vibe I got. Like the one thing I like that the Disney's interpretation, for all of you, you're gonna know right now, I will never ever call the EU Legends. Yeah. I am strictly whatever came first is canon, no matter how much you want it to be. There's only one exception I've made, and that is the Terminator timeline. Yeah. That I consider Dark Fate to be Part 3. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That is the only thing. Other than that, like is stuff like that's just inconsistent. I don't want to throw it out there because I don't really want to diss any movies because I enjoy them all. But just to throw it out there, as bad as Jaws 3 is, I still consider it the third movie. Yeah. Of course, my very unpopular opinion is that Jaws the Revenge is still better than Jaws 3.
Let us know if you guys want our 100th episode to be just us debating both of those movies, which we will both contend, very bad movies, but we both think one is better than the other.
I can't get behind a head floating at a screen for literally 15 seconds. At least
3D in theaters, it looks fine, but
well, still, but that's for another episode.
Dennis Quaid. Oh, I'm sorry, I got him.
Oh, we got Lance Guest as a pretty good Michael Brody.
Yeah, fair.
Because I mean, then you see him in another good movie, pop culture movie, is The Last Starfighter. Where again you get to see the sci-fi element. Now, what I really liked is that was like a Battle Beyond the Stars, like those low rent meets Tron.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very cool.
And when I'm organizing them, as you can see on my shelf over there, if I upload this to YouTube, I'll show you guys a little picture of my shelf. But I got like most of that Star Trek, believe it or not, and then I just threw some of the other sci-fi stuff up there just for the fact of.
Well, what I liked about Last Starfighter is like he does the video game thing, he gets picked, and then he spoilers for the movie, but he shows up to the place and they're giving the pilots the briefing, and it feels very final act of Star Wars. But then the base gets attacked and he's the only one left. So it's like, what would happen in Star Wars if only Luke was attacking the Death Star?
Right. Which would it have gone to plan?
Probably not.
I mean, well, that's
I believe in the Force, but like, I don't know.
But what I liked is that it was really by the skin of its teeth. Yeah. Thing. It wasn't just like, he did it. It was, whoa, there's
stakes here. Everyone could die.
Yeah, and that's like, for example, like what a lot of those 80s movies were. You didn't really have. They were just popcorn, fun sci-fi movies.
You had an afternoon to spare.
But they didn't need to have a Hollywood budget going, this is this is that, this is this.
Oh, no.
It was really just, here's our established characters, and these are the stakes. Yeah. And because it was a low-rent movie, you didn't have to really think about, the hero must prevail, because in reality, it was low budget, and you could already tell that, if it was going to be a hit, it was going to be a hit. If people liked it, they did. Mm-hmm. But it was kind of like one of those filler movies. That's why I like to think of the Black Hole, because, in reality, the Black Hole was just supposed to be Star Wars competitor.
Yeah.
Which was kind of dumb for them to think that was even gonna be a thing.
And like I do give that movie credit of like they do the 0G, which Star Wars doesn't ever do, really, do they? I can't think of any. That was the sound of Noah's brain breaking.
Just the brake slowly stopping.
Yeah, exactly. That was the sound of Noah Sweeto breaking while Nathaniel Shoemaker was watching him. He says, realizing we didn't introduce ourselves when we started the show.
Well, now you know our names.
Yeah, you know who you are. You know who we are.
We're your hosts, Noah Sweeto, and
Nathaniel Shoemaker. We should like, in case on the off chance we forget to like say our own names, because this is basically we're just having a conversation. Like we don't really have a format, I'd say, for you. Well, I wouldn't say that, but we should like pre-record us saying our names and just put it in somewhere if we forget.
Right. What's playing?
Oh.
Sorry, I started the computer by accident. I'm just trying to pull up the Battle Beyond the Stars for this movie.
Dude, they can't see us. Let's be more imaginative. He was just attacked by...
Just attacked by a random alien! What's happening?
He's got a knife. Why?
I'm gonna have to do a Pickle Rick to get out of this.
Pickle Rick! Alright. So Battle Beyond the Stars... I had no idea of this movie. I watched it last night at like 2 in the morning. Fun time, I'd say.
And it's a great movie, and especially because its main star is Richard Thomas.
Yeah.
Who played Adult Bill in the It miniseries for all those of you who haven't seen it. I'm just assuming that our older audience will know that.
And
obviously.
our really, really older audience would know him from The Waltons. But I don't imagine that exists
anymore.
My dad knows him from The Waltons.
But I love those just really B-rated movies. Like there's another movie called Ice Pirates.
Oh, that's a gem to behold.
Which I still have to watch.
Oh, well, there's an episode.
Oh, well, there's a castration scene apparently.
I mean, more manly sound.
9% on Rotten Tomatoes and 49 and
it can be fun to trash. No. Yeah, I like those movies where you get the sense that people just wanted to make something.
And that's what I like. That's why I don't judge these. Like everybody's just like, oh yeah, well, critical standpoint this, and it's like,
yeah, can't they just have fun?
Have fun with it. It's a movie. Like The Fifth Element.
A masterpiece.
For me, I couldn't get behind it at first because I just didn't know how to feel about it.
Ugh.
But I like it. I think it's fun.
Yeah, I was like, I knew how I felt about it right away.
Well, it was the first time I was watching it, and I was slowly getting into these more sci-fi. And the first thing I think of is Bruce Willis and Mila Jovovich. Yeah, and then Gary Oldman.
Yeah.
And then Chris Tucker. I'm like, how do you do this? Oh, Ian Holm was in there too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Yeah. My favorite,
Ash.
Yeah. I think my favorite scene from Fifth Element is when he's getting robbed. And like he opens the door to his apartment and the guy has the hat that looks perfectly like his hallway. And I'm like, when did you have time to make that?
Oh jeez. See, it's been a while since I've watched it, but I do remember how much I did enjoy it.
He's like, you gotta push the red button to load it. Like he's helping the robber. Yeah, that's a great one.
I liked the taxi scene especially too. I really liked the visual effects for like the city. That's something I always wanted to see more of, and what I love seeing in those classic movies too is like the futuristicness, like Total Recall. It's like I like the idea of that because it reminds me of Coruscant in a way.
Mm-hmm. Just one giant city.
Yeah, where there's so many depths to it because there could be so many different things. Because you got to think if they're flying around, in basic starships that just can't make it to space.
Mm-hmm. Very base level.
Yeah. What's even lower beneath those? Mm-hmm. Like the thing with Coruscant is that it's a city that builds upon a city that builds upon another city that's built upon the ruins of the other part of the city.
Mm-hmm. And in the Legend series, it was the original home planet of the Mandalorians.
EU.
Sorry.
I hate that term, Legends.
I use it like just so people. I don't know. I'm sorry. Please. Ow! Please don't hit me.
I won't be too mad.
He didn't hit me, guys. That was me clapping.
Dang it! Why did you say that?
No, I'm sorry. No. If you guys want to watch Battle Beyond the Stars for yourself before you hear us talk about it more, it is free on Vudu, Tubi, and
it's on Prime, I believe, too.
It is on Amazon Prime. That's where I watched it. Or if you don't have Amazon Prime, you can rent it from there, or Google Play, or YouTube. So it's now 45 minutes. We both agree. Pretty good time. So if you guys want, pause right now, come back, and then, you'll understand all the spoiler stuff we're talking about.
And they got a good collection. I think this is on Blu-ray or DVD. They have it on Shout TV right now.
Shout.
Yeah.
Let it all out.
And it's really good. 30th anniversary from Shout itself. It's $21.97 on Blu-ray.
A little plug.
I mean, I wouldn't mind paying for that, though, because it's by Roger Corman. Usually when if it's by Roger Corman, it's going to be quite interesting.
Yeah, it's going to be different.
And that's not always necessarily a bad thing. And I think the problem with movies nowadays, especially sci-fi, is people are just so quick to judge. Like, everybody has been criticizing Endgame now.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
did you really think it was going to be better than Infinity War? Be honest.
It's not better than Infinity War.
No, it's not. And the Russos said it wasn't going to be.
And Infinity War isn't better than Endgame either, because they both go together. They're one big movie.
Yeah, they're one big 6-hour epic.
Like, I don't get why people are so, when it comes to those types of movies, I'm like, one's not better than the other. They're duology. They were meant to be two parts.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
The first part is always going to be better because that's where the stakes are the highest. Same with it.
There's a reason why, with their title,
they didn't put part 1 and part 2.
Yeah, they were on the Marvel slate before they decided on Infinity War and Endgame. It was part 1 and part 2.
And they just put Avengers part 1, part 2, or Avengers 4 part 1, part 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then they were going to do Infinity Gauntlet for the second one, but it was like, well, that just defeats the purpose of Infinity War.
Because he forged the gauntlet.
Wouldn't that be Gauntlet, and then Infinity War would have been better for Endgame? But then it was like, the Endgame was better, and I forgot how they said that one stuck, but...
Yeah. Well, I think Endgame has been used more times than people understand in the MCU, like just the phrase Endgame. Like,
we're in the Endgame now.
Doctor Strange said it, yes.
And I think that's where they mainly drew it from.
But, well, no, that probably mainly, but also in Age of Ultron, I think Tony Stark has a monologue where he's like, we can fight soldiers and stop arms dealers all the livelong day, but up there, that's the end game. And by up there, he's referring to whoever attacked New York in the first Avengers.
Yeah, which was ultimately Thanos. Thanos was pretty much the architect behind almost every last...
Thanos didn't attack it himself, but he gave Loki the army and 2 Infinity Stones.
Which Loki messed up.
Oh, yeah.
Which is why my favorite part of Ultron is I think he kind of knew. I think Ultron knew of his existence just because of how massive Ultron became.
Oh, yeah.
Because
he was the internet.
Well, yeah, and I'm pretty sure that Ultron knew that there was something bigger out there, which is why he was wanting to assimilate Earth for himself.
Yeah, because he wanted to, like, have a fighting chance against Thanos, probably.
Yeah, because, I mean, that's why that best part is when Thanos opens up that thing and slides on the gauntlet and he says, fine, I'll do it myself.
And it's
like that's the most chilling scene ever to be like, and then to have to wait was it 2015? So to wait 5 more years.
Yeah.
And 12 movies almost.
And how many years did we? 2012 was the first Avengers, so we had to wait 8 years after seeing his face.
Yeah, which he was very purple.
Oh, very purple.
But he became more pink by Infinity War.
That's what I loved. Real nerds were like, "Oh my god, it's Thanos!" But people who just watched the MCU movies were just like, "Who's the purple guy?" Yeah, it's the purple guy. Sure, we totally know who you're talking about.
I mean, I had the idea that he was important just because of the mere fact of, that was him.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, there's some interesting images of Thanos.
Interesting?
I don't want to say on this podcast. People have some interesting love for Thanos.
People are imaginative.
People are very imaginative with their fantasies.
Fantasies? Involving a dude who wanted to kill half of everything?
Apparently people like very big, muscular, bald titans.
Huh.
Apparently it's like The Rock for them, but...
Yeah, I was going to go Vin Diesel, but yeah, The Rock works too. Batista.
I think that The Rock is definitely... Well, but you can't say Dave Batista because he already plays.
Oh, are you talking about casting? I was just saying bald buff man.
Oh, well, Bald Buffman, I think that Thanos would be the equivalent to The Rock.
Mm-hmm. Is The Rock still playing Black Adam?
Yes.
Okay, good.
This is just... And I think that's what our next episode would be. We should do a superhero one and kind of...
Well, our next episode, we already know. Because we're going to watch a thing and then do it same day. You guys won't know any different because it'll be a week apart, but it's one day for us.
Yeah. Oh my god, that weird frog.
Oh, Throg?
No. The motorcycle frog. From the song. Somebody put Thanos' face on it.
Motorcycle frog from a song. Did you just have a stroke? What are you talking
No!
about?
Look up motorcycle frog.
I don't know if I want that in my search history.
Just look up motorcycle frog.
Alright.
And he makes the noise. Crazy frog. Axel F.
We are going on huge tangents right now. But that's really
Well, I had to point that out because I looked up a Thanos meme before we go back on topic.
Yeah.
And that is something I did not need to see.
Huh.
Why did...
Alright. Thanks for burning that into my brain.
Well, stuff like this exists and I don't know why they have to take those sets of photos to put them on products.
I'm sorry. What? Huh.
See, you look up one thing...
And then the internet is like, you meant this, right? And you're like, no, not even close.
It's those advertising images that makes me question whose idea was it to market those.
Yeah. So Battle Beyond the Stars.
Very
Halfway
much so.
through the podcast, let's keep talking about the movie.
I mean, I don't remember except that I just mainly enjoyed it. It was just one of those very interesting things that I really just didn't know what to do, so I just kind of sat back and was like...
Yeah. Be prepared to have a good time. It says in the description on Amazon Prime,
ooh,
in the vein of Magnificent Seven, which it really is. Because, like, main bad guy, played by John Saxon of Elm Street fame. At least that's what I know him from.
Star Crash.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
It was another Roger Corman one. I still have yet to watch that, though.
He's going planet to planet to subjugate people, and if you don't agree to his terms, he blows you up. You know, classic villain.
It's like a Death Star concept, pretty much.
It really is a Death Star ship, isn't it? And, like, so he goes to the planet that Richard Thomas lives on, who they have a very interesting character for him because he's part of a pacifist people. But he has to slowly come to terms with the idea that if he's going to protect his people, he might have to kill somebody.
Oh, I thought I turned that down.
Alright, it wasn't 10 seconds, so we're not going to copyright struck from Battle Beyond the Stars.
Well, I was looking at this Star Crash thing to kind of give me another idea of what it was, because I haven't seen that yet. Mm-hmm. But I know that was on my list, because I know that was part of the Roger Corman collection as well.
Yeah.
Which I know was another cheese thing. And I think they had a lightsaber scene in there, too. Like their own version of it.
In what?
Star Crash.
Oh, yeah, they do. So anyway, Richard Thomas's character, Shad, because sure, Shad, he goes to find some, mercenaries to defend their planet, whatever. I shouldn't say whatever. It's fun. So he goes on this spaceship. Is it Nell? I think is the name of the spaceship.
I think so, and it's automated, so it talks to him.
Yeah, it talks to him. I love her because she just doesn't give a crap. Because, like, there's a thing where he's targeting, and he's like, I can't do it. I can't shoot them. And she fires, and he's like, did you just... She goes, yeah, you were taking too long. And he's like, but inorganic life forms aren't supposed to kill organic life forms. And she's like, I know, it's a stupid rule.
Yeah, it's very witty.
It's very tongue-in-cheek. I like the set design of the ship. It feels very homely,
It does. That was one of the things. It felt very comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
It felt like you could walk in there.
Yeah. But, yeah. So the first place he goes, he meets this girl. I'm trying to find her name on IMDb. But she's the love interest. She's the love interest.
Excuse me. Let's see.
Let me see.
It was a Saint Ixom, right?
Thanks. No. Saint Ixom is... I have some things to say about her in a second.
Nanalia,
yeah.
Played by Darlene Flugel?
Yes. I think that's how you say her name.
And she's dead too, unfortunately.
Oh,
she was born in 1953 but died in 2017, December 15th.
Wow. A lot of people from this movie. But, yeah, she was good as like she's pretty much, you know, your standard 80s movie fare, you know, damsel, you know, that kind of thing. Like, she's there for the main character to fall in love with. But she does have, like, an interesting character arc in that she has not left her father's robot repair base in her whole life. So she doesn't know what to do or how to talk to people. She doesn't even know that his species has kissing. Like, and that's interesting to me, to, like, bring a character who's, like, presumably in early 20s, but hasn't left this little space, so they don't know how to, like, interact with humans, I guess. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's interesting to me.
Because, I mean, when he comes, that's basically the first person that he meets, or the
first person she meets.
She's ever met.
She thinks he's a robot at first. And then, like, her dad, who's, like, this doctor dude who's full cyborg, like, all that's left is his head. He's like, you're gonna stay here, and you will mate with my daughter, and you will have many children. And he's like, no.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that, especially when the father's forcing me, but,
Yeah.
you know, you do you, it's okay.
He says, like, the line that had me bust out laughing. He goes, Android, prepare the conjugal suite. And I'm like, conjugal?
All right!
Cue the music.
You know, and I really, like, you know, some of those parodies, like, you know, you see them, like, Spaceballs. I gotta watch Spaceballs again.
Why'd you say it with a Boston? Yo, you know, the Spaceballs.
That's always how I said it, because I just see it as a parody thing, and every time I think of it, I just imagine some random dudes going, Spaceballs.
Pizza the Hut. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Pizza the Hut. Which just makes me think of Pizza Hut all the time, and then I crave it.
That's the point of it.
I know. I know that's the point.
But yeah, so he meets her, and then they go, and she's, like, in another ship, and they leave her dad's place, and they're gonna split off, and they're gonna, you know, cover more ground and find more mercenaries faster. And the first one we meet is, drumroll, Cowboy. What did you think of Cowboy?
I'm trying to remember him a bit more. I got a Han Solo vibe.
Oh, okay.
That's kind of me, just in general.
Mm-hmm. Well, first time we meet him, he's on this, like, freighter thing, and the first thing, the zoom out to look at his ship, is that his ship has a Confederate flag on it. It's a different time period, guys.
Which, we won't get political.
No,
I have no problem with that at all.
No. But, he's getting attacked, so the main character helps him, and, he's, like, delivering, guns to a planet, but the planet gets destroyed by the main villain, so he's like, you want the guns?
What am I going to do with them?
Yeah, exactly. But the interesting thing about his character is that he is actually, like, he says a few times, he's from Earth. Which is interesting for the sake of, like, oh, he's, like, actually from Earth, so this is clearly taking place in the future. Or at least you would assume, right?
Yeah.
If we can do interstellar travel and the dude's just casual about it, you know?
I mean, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So then, God, who do we meet next? Oh yeah, it cuts back to the girl, and we meet the lizard dude. What the heck is his name?
I have to actually look that one up.
He's the guy who Fen, maybe Fen.
I think it's Fen.
Yeah.
Wait. Let me.
Or Gar.
Wait. Oh no! I just had it.
Okay.
Shouldn't I find it?
Because I'm on IMDb, so it's not really.
Well, that's why I'm trying to find it, and I'm like, I just had it, and I don't know where it went. And it's not popping up. I hate it when this happens.
Cayman, maybe.
What?
Cayman, maybe.
Is it Gelt?
I think so. No, Gelt is Robert Vaughn. Gelt's the mercenary dude who has nowhere else to go. We'll get to him in a bit, folks. But he's like this lizard dude. You look for his name. But, his ship, it's not just him who they get to recruit. They also recruit these two, like, small, bald-headed creatures who have a really interesting concept that's not explored more, I think, in that they communicate by temperature. Do you remember that?
think so. Yeah.
Yeah. They communicate by temperature, so like they'll make you feel warm if they're saying hello or something like that. And then he also Gladiator Man is also on his ship. Remember buff dude with the spear and the face tattoo? And
Yes. Yes.
I was like, this is. Did you walk on the wrong set from the Conan movie? What is this? But he's interesting because he gets the girl and he captures her and he's gonna sell her, but then she tells him who they're fighting and he gets like a whole wants to seek revenge arc because you find out the main bad guy killed his entire species and he's the only one left.
Cayman.
Thank you, Cayman.
That's what I was thinking. It's played by
Morgan Woodward,
who looks like a cowboy.
Yeah, ironically, cowboy does not look like a cowboy. And then we get back to Shad, and he meets Nestor next, who I love. I love the idea of Nestor. Remember Nestor?
Vaguely.
So Nestor is the 5 clones.
Yep.
Who share a single consciousness, and there's like they say that there's planets of thousands of them, and they all share one consciousness, and they're like, we want to help you, the 5 of us, and he's like, why? And he goes, we fear how you say dying of boredom. So they're literally just doing this so they're not bored.
Well, the bear to do so.
Yeah, we'll help you. Why not? But they have a lot of interesting scenes, and they explore that a lot. They're also psychic, which is also, that helps.
I don't know how I feel about that, though. Like,
really?
The whole time, just people reading my mind.
Yeah, I'd be uncomfortable, too. But then again, you'd enjoy having mind-reading powers, right?
Well, anybody would.
Yeah, exactly.
For a lot of reasons. Reasons we won't go into.
No, we clearly have personal issues that won't be divulged in this episode. Stay tuned. We'll get my therapist on here. Oh, boy. So anyway, then he goes to the planet that, like, I can't remember the name of it, but it's like an underground city, supposedly. And, but it's all abandoned, and when he gets there, there's like there's a prehistoric version of Tinder, I'll call it, because it's like, find a date, and he's like clicking through and seeing attractive women, and he clicks on one, and the door opens, and it's a corpse.
That I do remember.
Yeah, and you're like, oh no. But that's where he meets Gelt, who he's like a bounty hunter, and he's been doing this so long, and he has so much money, but he's been doing it so long that he literally can't go anywhere.
Because he just doesn't know.
He's wanted everywhere.
Yeah.
Because he's killed so many different people. So he gets him on board because he's like, you're offering me a place to hide and some food? Yeah, I'm in.
I mean, whatever gets me off this rock,
And the interesting thing about it is, like, he's this, like, hard-edged, like, I've killed people and I don't care about it anymore and, like, it's not a thing character. Which is very odd, because Robert Vaughn, the actor who plays him, was actually in Magnificent Seven, the Western version, which this is kind of based off of. And it's interesting because his character in that, his whole thing was that he had never killed anyone before. And that was his character arc in that movie, is that he finally killed someone. So to have him play the opposite of that is a really interesting character choice, I would say. Wouldn't you say?
I'd say so, yeah.
Yeah. That's like an interesting choice, I'd say.
So I'm trying to find the name of that city as well.
Oh, yeah. Well, that city was fascinating to me because it just looked like ruins, and then he's just there in his chair holding a gun, and he's surrounded by treasure chests. And he's just like, I eat serpents 7 times a day. And it's like, oh, you are not enjoying your money.
Well, I mean, and I like the accurate representation of him that eventually you're going to get bored. I have everything in the world, but I can't do anything.
Yeah, eventually you'll have nowhere to go. And you're just kind of like a rat, just like surviving wherever you can and wherever anyone will have you, or no one will have you, rather.
Great, every little bit of money in the world, but I can't do anything with it.
Yeah, that's the trade-off to, doing something highly illegal.
Right.
That's why they invented Amazon. No.
Amazon. I can't be tracked except for your package.
I can get a lobster dinner delivered. Name on the order. Jeffrey Dahmer. Dang it!
Jeffrey Kilgore.
Yeah.
Something random.
Reginald P. Tinklebottoms. No.
There's some interesting names out there that I really want to throw in one of my shorts one day.
Oh yeah, I do that too. Like whenever I'm writing anything, I'll just like yeah, and just come up with a name. Yeah. And then, did you find the name of the city?
No, unfortunately.
Go to the wiki of the movie because I'm sure it'll have all the plot points and like.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah. Because then we meet a character who I really want to talk about. Because the character's, like, choices I'm baffled by. The naming I'm almost disappointed in. Like, it's very... I really want to talk about this character. Oh, gosh.
Is it Akira?
Yeah, I think so. Maybe? Or no, Akira is the main planet.
Well, alright.
Akira is the planet of the pacifists.
Yeah.
Who the reason they have a ship even that has battle capabilities is because there's a dude who basically retired there who was an adventurer when he was young.
And now they're just kind of living there.
Yeah.
So
Which, the ship designs in this movie are pretty great.
I did like the main ship.
The main ship, yeah, and then, like, I think the next character we meet, I enjoyed her ship. Because it's kind of just like, it's very fast.
I mean, granted, though, that when you look at the Nell ship from behind,
it kind of
looks like two balls.
Yeah. Oh my god. oh my god.
It really does look like...
We really looked at this movie differently, didn't we?
Like, I just noticed it. I never really thought about it, but the main ship looks like it has two testicles on the back.
On the back or on the front?
Or is it the front?
Is there a window?
Oh, no, it's the front. Sorry.
See, I initially didn't think it was that. I thought it was... We're not.
A ship with cups.
With cups.
No, but it does look like that. I see what you mean.
It looks a little phallic.
And who knows? Maybe that was them trying to poke at fun at sci-fi, because that's what a lot of them was.
Or maybe they didn't realize it was phallic because they're not disturbed like us.
Well, I feel like a lot of those. I mean, like with the what's her name? And I keep blanking on these names, and I gotta stop doing that. That he first met.
Oh, the first girl he meets?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nenelia?
Natalia,
yeah.
I mean, she was basically just a mate for that. So I mean,
yeah. First scene she's in a welder's hat, like the least sexy thing you could wear. Like,
yeah. I mean, if you go from that to,
Saint Eczema,
to let's be mating partners, then
yeah.
I could kind of see that maybe they poke a little jab with the ship.
You think if I went to a sci-fi convention and said that to someone, you think that would work as a pickup line? Let's be mating partners.
I feel like it'd probably be better than what was that one joke, that Star Trek joke? Initiate thrusters or something like that. I feel like that'd be better than
put the ship into your docking port.
Yeah, something like that, because
from Hunters, yeah.
I feel like that would be like, oh, but I feel like if you're more subtle about it in a bad way. Not that I'm not advocating that any of you do this. Please do not do this.
No.
Because, we always got to put that warning.
Live your truth and all, but, like, there's a point.
Right.
Although I will say, I don't think it would work for me at a convention saying to a woman, shall we conduct mating rituals? But if a girl said that to me, I'd be like, where are the chambers? Like,
For me, I don't know how I'd react to that, because I feel like a lot of these sci-fi movies, if they said it just like that, I'd be like,
well, there's a weird sex joke in this movie where they're like, and his Vlorgan was in the like, she's just saying weird stuff, and this person's like, huh? And she goes, sex, and it's like, oh,
why did you just say that from the get-go?
Yeah, exactly.
Isn't that what Nanalia was saying though too?
No, Nanalia was getting told that by Saint Eczema, who's the next character we meet.
Right.
Because you see her in her, like, she's got the battle warrior, battle maiden armor, you know, with, like, the wings and the chest thing and everything, and, like, a skirt.
Right.
Doesn't seem very practical for war, but she's wearing it, and for a second, I was like, she looks like a Valkyrie. And he goes, Ship, who are you? And she goes, I am Saint Eczema of the Valkyrie. And I'm like, wow, way to think outside of the press right up against the box. The Valkyrie. Let's just change it slightly, guys. They won't notice.
Oh, boy.
And he doesn't want her to join initially. But, you know, she kind of tags along, and he's like, fine, whatever. So we got our Fellowship of the Ring.
Right.
We got our group, and they're heading back to the planet. And we saw, like, the capabilities of the main guy's ship and all that, and
Fancy dancy.
He doesn't even make the ship, because you're thinking probably in your head, audience, oh, he shoots a laser from a ship, and the planet explodes. It doesn't do a Death Star explosion. We're talking it turns into pure white light and then is just gone, out of existence. Like, he blips it out of existence. Which I feel like is scarier.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like, what? There's nothing. There's nothing.
There's not even, like, a time frame there. There's
no asteroid field. There's just nothing.
Which, is different from Star Wars, because, at least the Death Star left a,
They thought they were in an asteroid field.
Yeah, well, because they got they're like in Alderaan. They're like, well, where the hell's the planet?
Yeah, it's gone. It's been completely blown away.
Yeah, with this one, it's just like there's nothing.
There was nothing ever there. There's no evidence of anything. And then, so yeah, we go back to the planet, and they get the planet ready for the battle. And what I thought was cool is they're using like xylophone sticks on a bunch of crystals, and it's moving the planet in such a way that it's making trenches. And I'm like, explore that more, please.
I know. That's what I love about these movies. Though, is they just got these bizarre little things that you're just like,
how do we explain this happening? This, crystals and noise. Sure.
But that they're low budget, so you're probably never gonna hear about them again. They're like. But that's the best part! You just threw in all this random crap that's...
Yeah. And then, the main bad guy's ship, we're blasting through this, but it's not even that long of a movie, is it? Like, comparatively.
It's not, and when you watch it, it doesn't...
It doesn't feel long. It kind of starts, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da,
it's a little slow from the first, 15 minutes.
Yeah. But once the fighting gets going, it gets going.
They really picks up, and that's the...
Yeah. Yeah, because you got there's two fights going on. Because you got the spaceship fight happening in space. Don't know why I needed to say that, but... And then you got the ground fight happening in the trenches between, the pacifist people who have never fought before, and they look like... they're basically fill-in stormtroopers, I'd say. Right. Except I'm pretty sure they have scientific, 8th grade... science guys where you had the goggles. I think they're wearing those.
Well, I mean, it wasn't surprising because if you look at the main bad guy's ship too, it really looks like a reverse Star Destroyer.
Yeah. It looks like the back part of a Star Destroyer
on the front
met the front part of the ship the Star Destroyer was chasing in the first Star Wars.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And credit, it still looks good.
It still looks awesome and whatnot. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, it still looks pretty awesome and whatnot.
It still doesn't look boring.
Oh, it doesn't look boring.
You sound like the turtle from the Tootsie Pop commercials. I never made it without biting. Ask Mr. Owl.
Oh, jeez.
For anyone born before 1910, you're going to love that joke. So yeah, the battle starts... And then we kind of get a break in between. The fighting stops for a second. But in between that, Gelt's ship gets shot down. And he looks like he's suffering when he dies.
Yeah. Which
sucks. Because,
he was a good character.
Yeah. Kids ask him, they're like, are you a bad man? And he's like, yeah. And they're like, were you bad when you were little? He goes, I was never that little. And it's like, dude, you're traumatizing children. Just, like, stop cleaning your gun. And
just do your thing and, like, communicate a little.
Yeah. Well, and it's very sweet, too, because they give him a burial, and they're like, he's like, bring him a full course meal and bury him with it. And they're like, bury him with a meal? He goes, that's what he was promised. A full course meal and a place to hide. And you're like, oh, don't get the emotions going. Can you tell I just watched this yesterday?
Yeah, because
You're blanking on some stuff?
I'm blanking on some stuff. It's been a couple of months and I watched it one other time.
Oh, do me a favor for yourself, because I want to hear you remember this. Look up the Saint Exuma Valkyrie character. Because when you first meet her, she's in the warrior armor, you know, and she's like got all the metal and stuff like that. When the battle starts, I guess at some point she changed her costume to what I can only describe as like S&M fishnet terrifying. Do you remember that?
Let me look it up.
Yeah. Please add this to your search history, because what?
Are you talking about like the?
I'll come around.
Yeah, the silver.
Yeah, she goes from the silver warrior armor, which you meet her in before the fight starts, and then she goes into like the outfit she wears when she's that. Why would you go from battle armor to that when the fight actually starts?
You have to have that sex appeal, I guess.
She already
even though her butt was hanging out the entire time.
Thank you. I mean, don't thank. You know what I mean?
I mean, the same thing with Barbarella, though.
Oh, Barbarella. We will cover that at some point, because there's a lot to be said.
Like the comment, but we're, that's definitely an interesting one.
Yeah. Well, and like, she, there's an interesting contrast between her race and the main character, Shad's race. Because her race are warrior people. And their motto is apparently live fast, fight hard, and die fantastically. Or something like that. I'm pretty close. But his is like, yeah, total pacifism. Like, don't harm any creature, and no creature will harm you.
Right.
Yeah. But he learns, like, yeah, it's not always the case.
Yeah, that's not the case.
No, you gotta defend yourself. Like, some people will attack you completely unprovoked, and for no reason. That's just how world is.
You know. Oh, yeah, you're just playing. Well, I think GTA 5, for anybody who's been on GTA Online, I think that's a perfect example I think you can all agree to.
Oh, yeah. People just attack you out of nowhere. First time I was playing, I was just flying a plane, and people started shooting at me, and I'm like, what is the purpose?
Yeah, it's like pacifism unless you put pacifist mode.
Yeah.
Passive mode in there. Mm-hmm. But then as soon as you start a job, you gotta take it off.
Yeah. Noah Sweeta, 2020. As soon as you start a job, you gotta take it off. We have dirty minds. So, the fighting...
Fighting makes you gotta take it off. You start the job.
Yeah. I want to talk for a second about, like, because costume design in this movie I thought was pretty great.
It was.
Yeah.
The large decor of everything, right down to the costume design, was very unique, and it was very interesting to see the way that they put him.
Because Cowboy's character, he looks like a cowboy. Like, he's wearing, like, the fur chaps and, like, the vest and the hat. And he's got a belt. I'm not kidding. He pushes buttons on it, and it dispenses scotch, soda, and ice.
That I do remember.
I lost my mind. I was like, where can I get that? Like, even Batman's belt can't do that.
Batman can do that if he really wants to. I mean, yeah. I really went to a Monty voice there.
You really did. But there is a funny thing from that, because he explains how the belt works, and then stuff really starts to go down, and he just gets the scotch in his glass and drinks it straight. And she's like, you forgot the soda and ice. And he goes,
I found the gift for it.
Of the belt? Yes!
Yeah, if you guys just want to look up Battle Beyond the Stars Space Cowboy GIF, you'll find or drink GIF, you'll find it.
Yeah. If we post these without...
with videos all...
Yeah, you'll put a bunch of clips and GIFs on there, I'm sure. But, But yeah, so the fighting starts up again after we get a little bit of a break. The main guy who originally owned the ship, now he dies too. Which, I don't know if it was. I mean, what do you think? Think it was necessary? Not really. Maybe. Yeah.
But I feel like it was just in there to have
More
stakes.
drama.
Yeah. Well, like I saw a clip from Warrior Nun the other day that like somebody died. I haven't really watched it, but
No
to
spoilers.
me,
I want to watch it.
I'm not gonna say I really haven't watched it. I just saw one clip. But the person who did die, whoever they were, I really don't remember. But I was like, why did you die? You could have easily saved that person and not died. Mm-hmm. So I feel like that his was just kind of a needless.
It was there to add to the body count. I feel like.
Yeah, but it wasn't necessary.
No. And then the fighting starts back up again, and like, just one after. Well, oh no! So we get one of my favorite scenes, because the Nestor, the clones, who are like psychically linked, consciously linked, they see what everyone else sees, blah blah blah. One of them gets captured on purpose. Do you remember this?
I think.
So he gets captured on purpose, and they're going to torture him. And the main bad guy, he has a whole thing throughout the whole first movie where his arm is messed up.
Okay.
So he decides to take off his regular arm that's hurt and put on the Nestor clone arm. And then all the other Nestors start moving their hand in a motion to slice his own throat. And they almost do it. And I was like, no way! Do you remember that?
I think so.
Oh, it was so cool for a second. I was like, dude, you almost had it. Like, the knife touches his neck for like a second and makes a motion, but it doesn't cut his neck. And I was like, that would have been so cool if that's how he died.
All work that together, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean...
Yeah. And then the fight happens, the second, like, round of fighting, and just, like, everybody died. Pretty much, like, just one ship, one after another, after another, after another. And I think... Did you have a favorite death, you think? I did like how Saint Exuma, she, like, broke off part of her ship and then self-destructed the rest of it. But when she broke off part of her ship, it was to disable the big planet-destroying laser.
Yeah.
That was cool. That was very cool.
I think just this movie as a whole, I didn't... I think I'm still trying to... Remember, but also, like, comprehend it in a way.
Yeah,
because it's one of those that you take in, not in a bad way at all.
It could use a rewatch just to, like, catch some stuff.
Yeah, and I know, and there's a lot to take in and always look around with those types of movies because you always see something new.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I love, like, the set design. Like, everything's very practical. Like, you can tell, like, this is a soundstage, but they really tried to make it not, and they to their credit, it looks really good.
Yeah, and that's the part I like, when you can still tell it's something, because that adds to the realism.
Yeah.
Because, with set design, I feel like, if you didn't make it, I feel like if you didn't see, because, every structure is based off some kind of structure.
Exactly.
As well. So I feel like with these sci-fi movies, that's why when you see CGI, it's like, why?
Yeah, exactly. Well, like, that's the...
Because that looks too perfect.
That's the thing as well. Like, no... I hate when people, like, compare movies and say, like, the idea wasn't original. I'm pretty sure the last original idea anyone had was fire. You know what I mean?
The only original idea that came was probably at least the 1940s, and that was about it. 1940s, 1950s. And those, after that, there was really no original ideas. Because those were, like, the last one. Because then you got the Blob, and you got all the novels and whatnot.
Like, even Star Wars, a movie you and I both love. A lot of stuff is taken from other stuff. Yeah, no.
A lot of it is based off of the samurai tradition.
Yeah, and
Star Trek inspiration in some sense, too.
The first movie is based off of The Hidden Fortress by Akira Kurosawa, which you watch that movie and then watch A New Hope, and you're like, yeah.
And what's it called? The Hidden Forest?
Hidden Fortress.
Hidden Fortress.
And then, like, the AT-ATs are literally construction cranes. Like, that's how he got the idea. And then the Red Guards that stand by the Emperor, that flank the Emperor, those are just, like, he saw them in Europe, I think. He saw, like, Buckingham Palace's guards.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, it's a cool movie. It's just, and we love the heck out of that whole franchise.
But that's why Empire Strikes Back did better, because it was really just saying its own thing.
Exactly. I can't believe you went through this whole conversation without mentioning the space nipple cannon.
Well, I was. That's why when I mentioned the ship.
Yeah.
From Battle Beyond the Stars, I'm like, that looked like space boobs too.
Yeah.
For
this
all
isn't
of you.
us being perverts. This is
legitimately
what it looks like.
And if you've seen Family Guy's version of it, their parody, they make a joke about it too. That they fire the giant space titty.
Yeah. I'm losing my freaking mind right next to a Godzilla poster. Like, oh my god.
But but yeah, that's the thing that I always noticed. I always thought that those guns, even when I was little, looked a little funny.
Yeah.
And I could never quite point out what it is.
This looks familiar.
What's the fact that literally not being perverted at all, just being truthful.
No.
That really how round those guns are.
We're using our eyes.
It literally looks like a giant nipple on a boob.
Yeah.
Just a very Rick Nickel that starts sliding down and shooting out lasers. The reality. And same thing with the ship and Battle Beyond the Stars, the main ship. It literally looks like two giant breasts.
Yeah. You said sacks first, but then I made you realize that is what it looks like.
I mean, it does look like sacks, but it looks more like boobs.
Yeah, I mean, do you guys really think there's a coincidence that the AI in the ship is a woman?
Well, and that's the thing, because a lot of these other sci-fi movies too, they have a lot of hidden meaning, because a lot of what sci-fi was sex appeal. How do you get people to not be bored by something that's, kind of a rip-off or inspired by like a Star Wars or Star Trek?
Yeah.
You put boobs in it, and everybody's like, "Oh yeah, boobs!" And girls, which is like, no, that's not what you have to do. I'm fascinated enough by the special effects already.
We don't need a tri-breasted hooker from Eroticon 5.
Which, for Barbarella, it's an interesting sci-fi, but I felt like they spent more time on Jane Fonda's naked body than they actually did investing time into the plot.
To their credit,
special effects.
It's young Jane Fonda.
I mean, I get that, and I get it was based off the comics, but at the same time, I was like, that's why I like what makes Battle Beyond the Stars stick out and stuff like that with Roger Corman.
No pun.
It's not.
Sorry.
Yes.
I'm so sorry.
But...
I'm sorry, everybody. I couldn't help it. Some movies.
But but this movie, it felt more than just like boobs.
Yeah.
It felt like they actually were going somewhere with what they were doing.
With the movies you make, you need to put that as a review on one of the boxes. More than just boobs.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, that's all these sci-fi movies were, other than Star Trek. I mean, I was just sitting there, and I'm watching some of these, like, on Amazon Prime, because that's where a lot of these old movies are, and they're really good. They're fun to watch. And I'm just sitting there, like, why is there so much boobs?
This is how nerds, like, got exposed to that, but hid it from their parents as nerdy. No, I'm going to see a sci-fi movie, mother.
Right, and it really was just a bunch of titties hanging out.
There's no woman's cleavage in gold bikinis and twists.
Right, and then people see Jane Fonda, which, believe it or not, Barbarella is still rated PG.
No. Rip.
I would have thought it would have been rated R.
Spaceballs is still PG, and I still think that's bizarre.
Well, they've relabeled that on DVD as PG-13 now.
13? How many times did they say the F word in that movie?
I don't... Did they?
I feel like they say it a few times. You idiots! You've captured their stunt doubles! If you guys don't know Spaceballs, check it out. Please.
Well,
there's also the phallic symbolism. in that movie where they have to hold it like up there, you know. I am your father's brother's cousin's sister's roommate. What does that make us? Absolutely nothing.
Imagine if Vader would have said
May
that.
the Schwartz be with you. Well, they did the Thumb Wars thing. Did you ever see Thumb Wars?
I did see like bits and pieces.
I am your mother. And he's like wearing a pink dress. No.
One use of the F word.
Oh, okay. Why do I remember more? I don't know. Maybe
They said asshole a lot.
Yeah, that's what I probably thought.
But Barbarella, right in the beginning, not even, there's, Jane Fonda's naked. She's got her boobs hanging out, her butt and everything. And I'm sitting there like,
go on.
well, I was supposed to sit there like, we're not even 5 minutes into the movie and there's already a naked woman on screen just dancing around, stripping. And I'm like, I thought this was a sci-fi movie, not a space stripper, like, you know, showgirls in space.
Listen, there's the art of getting people into the seats, and then there's the art of keeping them in the seats.
Keeping them in the seats doing what, though?
Ask Pee Wee Herman.
You know?
Do you understand the reference I made?
I do. I believe
okay,
I do.
good. Yes, okay. Just making sure. Whoosh.
Literally, Barbarella opposed to like some of these other things, like the black hole, which
Yeah.
still sounds disturbing.
It sounds like a porno.
It does. It does sound like a space porno. I'm not gonna lie. That and Star Crash sounds like a cheesy porno name.
Star Crash.
That's the other one that Roger Corman made. If you guys want to watch that, we might do the review on that one too. I still have yet to watch that. But no, definitely that. The thing that comes with these sci-fi movies is that the problem I have with a lot of the earlier ones is that they were just too sexualized, because like literally Barbarella was the poster looks cool and everything, but it is literally showgirls in space, mixed with fantasy.
We're not saying we're against sexiness in movies.
No, but there's
Have the story first.
the whole movie does not need to be focused on a naked woman.
Sex appeal. Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it gets repetitive.
Yeah, it really.
You know, and that's a lot of things. Everybody's like, well, you're guys, you must love it. And it's like, no.
No.
I'm paying to see people shoot lasers at each other.
I'm paying to see Star Wars. I don't want to see boobs.
Right? Like, when I watch Star Wars, I don't care. Like, the whole thing with the sequel trilogy. And I'm just saying this. I'm just putting this out there. I don't care if Rey is the most powerful female in the galaxy. You don't have to push that on me.
No.
The only thing I care about is that she's hitting somebody with a laser sword.
Yes. That's what we signed up for when we bought the tickets. I'm gonna stop this voice.
You know, I want to see people shoot each other. I want to watch somebody literally fly into a backflip because the blaster bolt was so heavy that they just went whee in ragdoll mode, right?
I want to see someone throw an intergalactic grenade, like
you know, and that's what I like about these other sci-fi movies. But my favorite part is seeing the laser effects, like just how HD they look.
Yeah,
and they're not really that remastered either. If you
No.
look at the original footage. Like unedited remastered, like a lot of these clips on YouTube or Daily Motion or whatever, it's cool.
Yeah,
Like the black hole lasers unedited, like even
It
just
looks
like a
nice.
little remaster for a DVD,
yeah. We'll
they're-
definitely talk about that movie later too. 'Cause
they're-
that is
yeah.
a lot of fun.
because their laser is their laser effects are
On point.
wow. Like I was surprised, like that's how their lasers look like. And if we put an image, if we do a video in here, I'll show you guys. But
Bam.
yeah, but like,
Yeah,
oh,
bam.
they're really good. Same with Battle Beyond the Stars. They're practical effects and CGI.
Yeah, I praise the costuming.
Yes, was really good as well.
Very fun movie. Very fun movie overall.
And it kind of gave me, it may be just me, but it gave me the Last Starfighter vibes.
Yeah, the like his flight suit.
His flight
Really
suit,
does look
the way he just takes a random ship and goes out,
Yeah.
and how he's on a mission to find himself and save all these people, and really everybody's back home while he's going out. And
Yeah.
discovering this and meeting all these different people and whatnot.
And it's a very thing of like there's something to be said for the reluctant hero, you know? Not the guy who's like, I'm gonna do it because I can. The guy who's like, no, you can. There are more qualified people. Like, there's why
anybody
me?
but me.
Yeah. And then you have to realize, like, all right, I guess I gotta step up, so I'm gonna do it. Like,
I'm gonna do it because I have no other choice, and that's what makes these so engaging.
It's more relatable.
What makes Luke Skywalker such engaging and relatable is more engaging and relatable is the fact that he's literally just a nobody.
Yeah.
Luke Skywalker is nobody.
Yeah. He's working on a moisture farm.
and doing nothing with his life. He's not going anywhere. He's just got held back by his uncle and stuff too. Like
he doesn't even get to go to Tashi Station to pick up power converters. Like he's
doing nothing. Where the hell did he get those power converters? Did he get them? Is that what happened before he moved to Octu?
We don't know. No, did you ever see the Robot Chicken parody of that?
Yeah, I think I did.
It cuts to Tatooine and like there's a building called Tashi Station and there's like doom 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 and they're like, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the power converters, and a bunch of ladies come out.
I feel like that, like everybody just makes a joke for the power converters, but has anybody ever just sat and asked themselves, what are the power converters?
I'd assume by name they convert power. But from what? Or to what?
But why? Yeah, why is he so desperate to go get these power converters?
Yes, and why Tashi Station? Is there no other place?
Yeah, why is it called Tashi Station?
Yeah, that's why you guys listen to us. We ask the important questions.
Forget the fact that, there's space droids and it's futuristic and they're on a desert planet while people are literally killing other people with lasers. What about Tashi Station and the power converters?
Didn't he buy them? All right. Well,
we're
getting
But I think that's as much that could be said. Battle Beyond the Stars is a very interesting movie. It's one of those fun popcorn movies by Roger Corman that really does hold up.
Yeah, it's really good.
It may not be it's Star Wars, but it's definitely one of those movies that I'm glad I saw.
Yeah.
And it's definitely one of those that I would watch again, especially just to remember it, because what I do remember is that I did have a great time watching it.
Yeah, that's it. That's the thing. It's a fun time. No, don't go into this being like expecting Shakespearean level acting. You're going to be disappointed.
Expect it like Sharknado.
Have fun. Just have fun.
Have fun.
Take all the logic you have from your brain, throw it out your second story window, and just watch some space lasers.
And and if you're listening to this podcast,
did you just break?
I just like I break one on the loop.
Guys, he's stroking out. No,
having a stroke here. No,
foaming from your nose.
Why the nose?
I don't know, because people always foam from the mouth. Like, foam has to come out of other places, right?
We're making our own sci-fi properties. But if you guys are listening to this podcast, you're obviously listening for one of two reasons. You're either intrigued by the fact of movies, or you just like two guys shooting the shit between each other about different movies. So you're obviously doing it for one reason or another. But if you like movies, you're either listening to it to be like, oh, I'll give this a chance, or you just like hearing two guys shooting the shit with each other.
Yeah,
and there's nothing wrong with that either.
Basically what the show is.
But yeah, always go into these movies with open minds. I don't know why so many people are so adamant about this movie wasn't good because it didn't have this.
It's not Star Wars.
Right, and that's not what makes a movie. What makes a movie, and the most important thing to always remember, is that what makes a movie is that people make it and they enjoy it.
Yeah, you don't need to get angry about it and talk about it until 4 a.m. on the internet with strangers you don't know. That's the thing about Star Wars. I understand people are serious about it and they love it. It's a movie about space wizards, okay?
And the thing that, I have a problem with, because I will admit it, the thing that I hate the most is that Disney really took this and they didn't really give it any thought.
Yeah, exactly.
You need to make these movies with a passion. When you don't make it and you're just making it about money, it really does show.
It really does show.
And
the only credit I will give Disney for a Star Wars movie that was good
was Rogue One. Rogue One is the only one because Gareth Edwards made it with a passion.
Yes.
And you guys can say what you want about The Force Awakens, and you can say whatever you want. All I'm going to say, and that everybody will know my opinion, is that I am not a Disney Star Wars fan. The only two things that I ever saw that were any good coming out so far that I felt like had a lot of passion and love put into it was Rogue One, because Gareth Edwards was dedicated. He went to the actual hut that they used to film for Tatooine. He was more than ecstatic about making this. I think Rogue One is one of those that people complain about, but it is actually one of the best stories out there.
Yeah.
A lot of people argue that the characters are thin and shallow.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that because, again, if you know the ending, which I won't say on here.
No, don't, please.
The ending is wonderful, and it doesn't matter if they're shallow. I
Exactly.
think that they were as described as they need to be. Because, again, it was just about a band of rebels. That is what it was about. A band of makeshift soldiers who didn't match, but were still willing to do anything to save the galaxy and bring that honor and justification.
Something bigger than themselves.
Exactly. And, you know, like with these movies, Battle Beyond the Stars, that's what our main protagonist is about. That's what every protagonist is about. So that's why these are fun movies. They take a different approach to the sci-fi genre in space.
Yeah, which is not a bad thing. It's space. There's literally endless.
So many things you can do with the similarities. Because how many times, like, you know, with Disney, I'm kind of glad that they're making more content. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of people were like, oh, well, what if they make this, and that, like George Lucas was saying. And I said, I don't see it that way.
Yeah.
Star Trek is all over the place. Mm-hmm. Granted, they do have their hit and miss series.
Oh, yeah.
And areas. Like, Enterprise, for me, is one of those okay series. But I'm still in the first few episodes, like on the 3rd episode of the first season.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't, however, like the song that they chose. Why they had to choose a country song for the opening annoys the crap out of me, and that's absolutely ridiculous. Why they didn't just make their own.
When did Enterprise come out?
2001.
Okay, so they weren't riding off the coattails of Firefly yet.
No.
That's what Firefly did, and it's perfect.
I don't... Why do you need a country song for a space opera? Come on.
Yeah, I mean, have you seen Firefly?
Not yet. Oh. It's on my list.
That's why. If you need an answer, that's why.
You don't need a country song for Star Trek.
Watch Firefly and then talk to me. Oh.
Not for Star Trek. For
Okay.
Firefly, I could see that. But something with Star Trek that's already been established...
Yeah.
Which we definitely need to do a Star Trek episode.
Yeah, how do we go from doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo to... You know.
Right. Like, and...
How do we go from sousaphone to...
Country. And we don't need that.
No.
But, to say the least, you know, that these are enjoyable. And I finally gave Star Trek a chance, and I absolutely love it. Because it does answer... It's one of those things. What is beyond the stars? Because there's so many times that I've asked myself, what the hell is out there in the Star Wars galaxy?
There's got to be something.
And I want to see it. I don't want to see it in a comic. I don't want to read about it in a book. I want to see it on screen in front of me. And I feel like, you know, Battle Beyond the Stars, Star Crash, all those, they really make that point
Black Hole.
Yeah, that there's other ways of viewing sci-fi out there. And it's interesting. It really
different.
is. It's different, and it's interesting. So,
it's a great difference.
If you guys will definitely be doing, I think, our next podcast episode, besides what we record, what we're doing for our other projects, I think Star Crash would appropriately come next because it is Roger Corman. I completely forgot about that.
Black Hole and then maybe that, yeah. Because I still really want to talk about that.
Yeah, definitely. And I gotta finish it and rewatch both.
We'll make a schedule,
but
with each other.
Yeah, and then as this picks up, and gets out to more people, I think what would be good is if we did Instagram and just did polls.
Yeah.
Of what people want us to do next and recommending.
We don't know when that'll happen because currently we're doing some pre-recording stuff because the world's not getting any saner, so we don't know when it's going to be when we'll have to be stuck in our house again. So we both kind of like agreed with ourselves. Yeah, let's pre-make some stuff, and then when we're trapped in our house, let's give people something to listen to. And it's a great idea.
Yeah, and as long as you guys will appreciate this, we'll keep making more and more. But I think for now, with the Battle Beyond the Stars, which is definitely worth a view, it's on Amazon Prime, I believe.
Amazon Prime, Vudu for free, I think with ads, Tubi.
Yeah, and then check out Star Crash if you guys want to see Roger Corman. There's some really good Roger Corman stuff out there. He's like the king of independent films, and he's still alive. He's like 91, I think, right now, or 92. Mystery Science Theater did their own version on 2017, I think of it. But right now,
Beyond the Stars?
No, Star Crash.
Oh, okay.
You can watch it on Tubi right now. It's free. On Pluto TV, it's free.
Vudu.
Netflix it's on Netflix. Really?
Star Crash?
Supposedly, let me fact check that.
Yeah, let's make sure it's not like it's not on Netflix in Forgenfagen or whatever.
Or Mystery Science Theater, because as much as I love them, I like to just sit and watch the actual movie first.
Yeah, and then watch commentary.
Right.
Oh my gosh, can you imagine? I would love to be involved in a movie that ends up on there. Like, oh,
I'm assuming that Star Crash is part of
the Mystery Science Theater.
On Netflix, I'm assuming it's from another country because I don't see it on the U.S. version because they do have different stuff on there.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You can still watch Friends on Netflix if you're in Italy.
Yeah, but it's definitely on Amazon Prime, Tubi TV, Pluto TV. If you guys want to check that out, I can double check on Vudu here for you, see if that's on there as well. If that's watch for free, because I know that those change. Okay, never mind. It signed me out of my library for some reason. So,
Technical difficulty.
Everything is technical difficulty with Vudu.
Technically,
I love Vudu. Don't get me wrong.
Oh
but
yes, fantastic. You're telling me I just have to log on to my phone and I can watch all these movies I bought? Get out of here.
Right.
Get out of my office.
Let's see.
I haven't checked out any of Vudu's like self-made content. They don't have a lot, but they like have some made.
They're good.
It is okay.
Some of their stuff is actually pretty good.
Because to my knowledge, they got the one movie and then the one Mr. Mom show, which I hear is funny, but I just haven't looked at it.
Mr. Mom is based off a classic though.
Oh yeah, with
And I've heard that's really not as good as the original.
How can it ever? You're doing a TV show instead of a movie. That already begs some questions. Yeah. But the original's got why am I blanking on his name? Batman from 19...
Val Kilmer?
No. Not Batman Forever. Batman and the second one.
Michael Keaton?
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, yeah, Michael Keaton, right. I knew
he's
that.
Mr. Mom. He has a great line in that movie where he's like, you want a beer? And the guy's like, it's 7 in the afternoon. It's 7 in the morning. Oh, right. Whiskey?
See, I have yet to see that. But
we'll do a whole episode on Michael Keaton comedies.
And for those, depending on when this gets out, we definitely know Michael Keaton's coming back for the Flash movie, so that'll be fun.
Movie. Is that confirmed?
Yeah.
Sick.
He'll be coming back as Bruce Wayne. So, perfect opportunity to do a Batman Beyond.
Yeah, exactly. So, we don't know when this is coming out. If we're dead...
Let's hope not. Let's not jinx it.
Our search history will be in the description.
I will. I think I'm gonna pass on my search history.
Really? You're dead. Why would you care? No, I'm kidding.
I don't need to be like this destroy the porn crap where you have to come back and it's like, oh, there's so much of the history to delete and this is on there.
I want you to clear my browser history. Yeah. I want you to kill him and clear my browser.
Pretty much. But yeah, so definitely check these. They're both on Amazon Prime and I believe Tubi.
Yeah.
So if you guys want to check those out, they're definitely worth a watch. Go into it with an open mind. Enjoy yourselves. Have a little popcorn and shoot the shit with each other afterwards and let us know what you think.
If this gets put on YouTube, we'll put all our ats in the description if you want to follow us anywhere.
Oh yeah, and if you guys like barbecue sauce.
Yes.
Definitely check out...
We have a sponsor, but we can't find the card.
Where did you put the card?
I didn't put it. Don't blame it on me.
You had the card last!
No, I didn't!
But we'll have a link in the description for Hoy's family and friends barbecue. So.
You really sound it.
I'm trying to think of it. I'm thinking of the card because you're looking around for it.
Fall in the Christmas bag of... What in the God's name of Sam Hill and all that is good and holy?
That is all the... But yeah, if you guys want to try out some really, really good homemade barbecue sauce, definitely check out Hoy's Friends and Family Barbecue. We'll put a link to the site in there. But if you guys are definitely looking for some good-ass barbecue, definitely check those out.
Tell them we sent you. It'll be nothing, but...
Just tell them that you sent them that way and enjoy it. So, without further ado, though, guys... We'll conclude this episode of Film Nerds Hour, but we all hope that you enjoyed it. We always love coming out here and recording these and shooting the shit and talking about these amazing movies that some are crappier than others, but in a good way.
In this next episode, for next week, we're getting to a pick that Noah has never seen of mine. Do you want to say?
Oh, no, we gotta save it.
All right.
Surprise.
Just know he's never seen it. I have. I told him to see it, and...
You could say it's a foreign movie.
Yes. That is what we'll say. You haven't watched a lot of foreign movies.
I've seen some. I still have to watch First Love. First Love is up there with my comparison. Alright, guys. We will talk to you later.
Bye.
Let us know what you think. And don't forget to check out Hoy's Family Barbecue down in the description below.
Yes.
So,
we'll see you.
See
Be
you
good
later.
people. We love you.